is about 43 degrees here on the field. Feels about 39 degrees. It is mostly cloudy and a west wind of about 7 miles per hour. So not too bad for some baseball action, or softball action, I should say. And it's not a bad day, as the weather yesterday was pretty bad. We had some rain and some snow and just a little bit of everything. Typical spring day here in North Idaho. And, well, we've got some sun and some clouds today, and hoping that weather holds out, which it's supposed to. So we will get this game underway. It is just a single header. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more.
Show your spirit and unleash your school colors with a debit MasterCard from P1FCU. With our exclusive high school and college designs, you can represent your school with pride. To join the P1FCU Mascot Madness, visit P1FCU.org to see all our designs. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1958, insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. Prince Electric is a family-owned and operated business right here in St. Mary's. With 36 years of electrical experience, Prince Electric has been serving all of North Idaho since 1996. From new construction to renovation, Prince Electric can help. Give them a call today at 208-245-5725. That's 208-245-5725. Prince Electric in St. Mary's.
This tree on your property, you need some trees or brush removed in preparation for a home or shop, you need to call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor Site Clearing. That's at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing.
The St. Mary's Lumberjack Booster Club is looking for volunteers and active members to participate in the many activities the club does in support of our Lumberjacks. Lumberjack Booster Club provides much appreciated support to Lumberjack Sports programs and is always looking for new active members and new ideas. The Booster Club is currently in need of new officers as well as volunteers to help with the Hall of Fame banquet and auction, spirit building, senior night, and more. Anyone interested can contact Lynn Masterson at 208-568-1802 or just come to a meeting at the fire station.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a best interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
And we are back, Tim Parrish here at the St. Mary City Park softball field as we are set for some Lumberjack softball. Your Lumberjack girls come into the game with a 2-0 record, like I mentioned, and they are undefeated with 2 wins against Bonners Ferry earlier in the season, just about a week ago. And they were, let's see here, this is the 20 23rd today, right? So that is exactly 10 days after their last game that they played. Take a look at this Lumberjack roster. They have a very veteran roster. There are 7 seniors on this team, including Kirsten Miller, Darcy Peel, Sammy Badgett, Jenna Holder, Daniela Dockery, Gracie Barton, Taryn Fuller, and Jade Telford. There's also actually just 2 juniors. You've got Emily Hill and Shelby Martin and a whole host of sophomores: Michaela Spray, Berkeley McGrill, Tacey Watkins, Stacy Mitchell, Lexi Fuller, Lexi Chapp, and Darian Todd. Jumping over to some statistics for the Lumberjacks as a team. In their first games, they batted .453, which is very good. They had 71 plate appearances in that doubleheader against Bonner's 53 at-bats. They played at 36 total runs on 24 hits with 26 RBIs. The team hit 12 doubles, 3 triples, and 1 home run. That home run was hit by sophomore Stacy Mitchell. She also had 2 doubles in that game, or in those 2 games. In the fielding side of things for the Lumberjacks, they had a fielding percentage of .897 with 4 errors in that game. They had 29 putouts, 6 assists, no double plays. Pitching in the first game, it was Tacey Watkins. There was no earned runs. She finished that game with an ERA of 0. She earned that win, and she had 5 innings pitched, only allowed 1 hit, no runs, and 3 walks to 15 strikes. In the second game, Gracie Barton had a 4.8 ERA in that game. She did get the win. She had 4 innings pitched, 9 hits, 5 runs. 3 of those were earned runs, and she had 5 strikeouts. Darian Todd seen some time in that game. She had just a little bit of the 5th inning, it looks like, pitched for her. She had allowed 2 hits, and that's the only stats that I see for Darian Todd, as opposed to, well, obviously there's no earned run or any of that for Todd. As a team, their earned run average is not showing up here as a team for me on my stats that I printed it up, so I do not have that number. So that is a look at the Lumberjacks statistically. Let's take a quick break, and we'll try to take a quick peek at the Timberlake Tigers.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Idaho. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
When was the last time you had great Mexican food? I mean, really great. Has it been a while? Well, grab the kids and head to Casa de Oro for dinner tonight. Casa de Oro has fantastic burritos, tacos, and chimney. Not to mention fajita and shrimp dishes. If little Johnny doesn't like Mexican food, well, don't worry. Casa de Oro also has an American menu as well. Dinner and lunch a la fresca. Great service and margaritas with a kick. Casa de Oro, what's happening for dinner tonight? Casa de Oro on Golf Course Drive in St. Mary's.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's
And it looks like we are back. It's going to have to change some batteries in.
Show your spirit.
Looks like we are back. I may have to change the batteries in my commercial CD here, but we'll see. I've got to try to undo a cable here. I think I had extended the invitation for Mr. Clark Grogan to come out to the game today. I think I seen him pull into the parking lot, so I might have some color commentary on the air with me today. So the Timberlake Tigers on the season, they are 3-2. They have several seniors on their team. They have Peyton Lindley, Olivia Glemser, Emma Howard, Lacey Peterson, Brooke Jessen, and Bernie Carhart. As a team, they batted .382 in their first 5 games of the season. They have a 3-2 record. They are in the 3A Intermountain League Conference. And let's let's see here, their fielding percentage, 900 with 11 errors and 2 double plays with 77 putouts, 22 assists in their 5 games. Their pitcher today is Keisha Pecor. She's a freshman, and her earned run average is 7.93, 2 wins and a loss for her. She has 15 innings pitched with 27 hits, 25 runs, 17 earned runs, 5 walks, 19 strikeouts. She has allowed 3 home runs in her time in the pitching circle for the Tigers. So that is a look at them. And let's see here. Give me just a second as I try to get some things squared away here, as I was hoping that my batteries would not run out on me. But they did, so we've got that going on. So let's see, both teams getting some final instructions, it does look like, from their coaches. And I lost a battery as I pulled them out here. Let me take a look real quick at well, I might be able to do that here in just a second, so give me just a moment. Just a second. There we go. I think I've got things squared back away. Now let's take a look at I think they still do a little quick warm-up when they go out to the outfield, so I've got my stuff going. So I'm going to run a break here, and then we will come back.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. Tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
It's time to reimagine your off-road experience because Yamaha has reimagined the side-by-side. Experience extreme adventure with the all-new 2021 Wolverine R-Max 1000 featuring an all-new 999cc parallel twin engine. Power-packed for maximum comfort and versatility, the R-Max 1000 features fully integrated accessories including the Yamaha Adventure Pro navigation system and much more. See for yourself at St. Mary's Sun Cycle, then get out there and realize your adventure with Yamaha.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff, and they will gladly help you find what you need.
You just want me to observe.
Super fresh.
I'm almost tempted to sit out
St.
outside.
Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most.
Just like
no time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
And we are back, and like I mentioned at the break, I thought I seen Mr. Grogan's car pull into the parking lot, and he has joined us. You might have actually heard him as he was trying to get positioned there, and I had his microphone turned up. He has decided to go sit out in the sun up in front of me and get a little bit better view, which I put my tent up here just in case, and it kind of helps block the breeze a little bit, but it's not a bad afternoon out here, really, is it, Clark?
No, not at all. It's a great time to be out here to watch.
And I don't know how often Clark gets out to catch any baseball or softball action, so this might be some of his first Lumberjack softball action he's really ever even taken in.
I have seen one girls' softball game back in 2012, 2013. So I don't get to come much because I'm usually doing baseball.
Well, you got lucked out today as far
Oh, it's a nice day here. Right now, Falls where I was supposed to go today. They just couldn't get their field ready.
Well, that was kind of the same thing here. This is the only game out of the JV team was supposed to be in Bonners for softball. The boys obviously were supposed to play here against Timberlake, and of course we know how our baseball fields are. When they get just a touch of water on them, it's not very pretty. So,
well, especially when you get some melting snow to have to deal with as well to make it even worse.
Exactly. So let me see here. I've got to get these lineups going. I haven't gotten that yet as we are ready to get going. So Tacey Watkins is on the in the pitching circle for the Lumberjacks, sophomore pitcher. And batting first is Emma Howard, the Tigers. I'll give you the square up a little bunt at it. The down to first is going to be just in time for the out.
That's what they're going to probably try to do with her, is they're going to try to bunt on her as often as they can, because that's about the only way they're going to get on, probably, from her reputation.
So that'll bring up the second batter, Bernie Carhart, for the Tigers. And Carhart batting .375 on the season. First pitch to Carhart. Looks like it was outside, ball one. I've set up down the third base line so I don't get a good angle on the inside, outside, and all that on the pitches. Not that important. Next pitch on the way. That one.
High and out.
But I could tell the high part on it. Clark has some reputation as an umpire, so he's always good to have along on baseball games.
Reputation?
I didn't say whether it was good or bad. So it's 2 balls, no strikes to Carhart. The pitch on the way.
That's a strike.
A called strike. Always fun to watch. I was really disappointed when the season got called off last year after just one game. I was really intrigued to get to see Tacey Watkins pitching. And this next pitch is going to be a dribbler down the first base line, and the throw to first is in time, as that was McGrill to Miller for the second out. Oh, or is that only the first out?
First out.
Oh, they do have a runner on. I thought that other runner was
No,
out.
she was safe. It was a bunt.
Well, then, I've got to completely go back through all of my stuff.
I'll kind of watch for you here. First pitch swung on, missed. Looking at these kids out here for St. Mary's, I've seen a lot of them before. You know, a lot of seniors. Swing on, strike 2.
What was the count? 0-2 is the count. So that's Brooke Chesson batting for the Timberlake Tigers. .385 is her batting average on the season. Now that I've got that all squared away on the tablet for the stat side of things, swing at that next pitch.
Swing and miss, strike 3.
Strike 3. So
that's
that was
2 outs now.
3 pitches, 3 strikes. That brings up Peyton Lindley batting in the number 4 slot. Peyton Lindley is batting .214 on the season.
Tease's got some movement on her pitches, which makes it very hard to connect with.
She took a swing at what looked like a low one from here. Strike
right around
one.
The knees area. Close.
Logan Walsh will be on deck if Lindley gets on. I have not gone over the defensive positions yet for St. Mary's. Next one is a strike.
That was a beautiful pitch. It rose on her.
So behind home plate is Jenna Holder, senior. Kirsten Miller, senior at first base. Berkeley McGrill, a sophomore, at second. We've got Gracie Barden, a senior, at shortstop. Jade Telford, a senior, at third. Next pitch, a swing and a drop third. The throw to first, though, is in time.
It's 3 outs. So they got the 1 bunt, and that was it.
Yes, they did. So the leading off for the Lumberjacks, the lineup before we take a break looks like this for the first 3. It's Sammy Badgett, Stacy Mitchell, and Tacey Watkins. We'll be back.
Is your rig's check engine light on? Idling a little rough? Time for an oil change. Maybe you need tires. Stop by Jim's Auto Repair and Tire Pros. Jim's Auto Repair can take care of your automotive needs fast. If you have a dead battery, Jim's Auto Repair and Tire Pros can set you up with a great AC Delco battery. Did we mention tires? Jim's Auto Repair is an authorized Tire Pros dealer and can get you a great deal on tires for your rig. Locations in St. Mary's and Plummer. Jim's Auto and 95 Tires. Give them a call. 208-686-0425. 208-686-0425. Or stop by today.
And we are back, and I said that Sammy Badgett's leading off. I do not have any stats from her. She did not play in the games against Bonners Ferry. So Sammy Badgett is a senior, and she is playing center field in this game for the Lumberjacks. Taking a look at the Tigers, they've got Acacia Pecor at the pitching pitching circle, she is a freshman. And behind home plate is Topanga Rojas. I remember her from last year when St. Mary's played them in the one game they got to play last year. It was against Timberlake. And despite Tacey Watkins striking out 17 batters, St. Mary's lost that game. I don't remember the final score, but it was some fielding errors that kind of created that issue.
And you remember a name, Topanga. Is that right? It's an easy name to remember.
It's an easy name to remember just because it
goes back to that old TV show, Boy Meets World.
Yeah, exactly. Ashley Grantham is at first base. Over at second is Bernie Carhart. Peyton Lindley at third. Brooke Jessen at short. Logan Walsh in left. Emma Howard center. Lacey Peterson in right field. And like I said, we've got leading off, it's Sammy Badgett. No stats from her. On deck is Stacy Mitchell. Mitchell had a home run in the games against Bonners Ferry. She also had a couple of triples in that game as well. She batted .714. Well, that was in those games against. She's batting .714 on the season.
Early in the season.
No, exactly.
Nice. Took that first pitch, strike one.
As Badgett, I'm assuming, seeing her first action of the season. Again, early season. It's just a wonder that we get games in after the weather we had. That pitch is inside, ball one. And look at the snow in the mountains and just up on the Christmas Hill side of things as well. Yesterday it was snowing and raining and everything. Tomorrow's almost supposed to be the same thing, but we're getting a little bit of break in between.
That's correct. I love this area. I don't get to see a lot of this when I'm umpiring when I was down in Texas.
Next pitch is in the dirt, ball two. 2 balls and a strike to bat. Acacia Pecora had a 7.9 as her ERA. That pitch is going to be fouled off. So 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Badgett. She has 15 innings pitched, Clark, with 27 hits, 25 runs, and 17 earned. She's walked 5 and struck out 19.
Not a good start.
And she has allowed 3 home runs. I don't know if it's allowed or, but
it's happened.
Yeah, exactly. So she toes back to the rubber as they step back, getting ready for the next pitch. That one was ball 3, runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Miss Sammy Badgett. Sammy, one of the seniors on the senior-laden team for the Lumberjacks. Like I mentioned in the pregame, they only have 2 juniors on the roster. 7 seniors. The rest are
sophomores and freshmen.
Sophomores. And that one is, I'm just going to call it a ball. I'm not sure if it hit her or not. In any case, it was ball 4, and she is on at first.
She's going to first base regardless of what that one was.
That'll bring up Stacy Mitchell. On deck, Tacey Watkins. So you've got a senior, then your next 2 batters are sophomores for the Lumberjacks. The windup and the pitch. That one.
Low, very low.
Ball 1, down low. Slowed down just a little bit as she stepped back after the rubber. Now she's ready to go again. The windup, the pitch.
Oh, she swung at that one at a high level.
Big swing by Mitchell. Gives her 1 ball, 1 strike count. Nobody out. Runner on first base for the Lumberjacks. Pecora, the windup and the pitch. Another swing. That was a nice pitch, it looked like, too.
That was probably in the zone.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Mitchell as she finds herself behind in the count. Pecora looks down at her. She must have some different pitches on her written or something on her armband.
Get a signal from the catcher, and then she looks at the band, and then she'll know what to pitch.
That one must have missed outside. Ball 2. First time I think I've seen a pitcher wear an armband. Well, maybe not. I think maybe a little bit of softball, college ball that I've watched.
It works a lot more in the college ball I've seen, but it seems to be coming down this level more and more, too. How many pitches are there? Fastball.
That pitch is wild for ball 3, and it's going to get Badgett over to second on the wild pitch, as that one ended up behind Mitchell and on the ground. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count to Mitchell. On deck is Watkins. In the hole is Barton. Gracie Barton, a senior. And that one the infield.
Toward first base and caught.
Just a little fly out.
She got a little underneath that ball is what happened on that pitch.
That was the first baseman that made that catch, or was it the second baseman?
It was considered the second baseman, but it was right over by the first base area. A little further behind the first baseman where the second baseman had come to get it.
Badgett held up at second. Watkins, a little grounder that's going to get to the shortstop. The throw is in time, and Badgett is going to slide over to third safely. But that's 2 outs. So a runner in scoring position for St. Mary's. Gracie Barton, though, up with 2 outs. Barton has 8 plate appearances, 5 at-bats, 1 run. No hits and 2 RBIs. She must have walked a couple of times.
Is she a senior also, Tim?
She is a senior.
That's what I thought.
She had 3 strikeouts and 2 walks in the last game. What was that first pitch to her?
It was a ball, I believe.
Next pitch is a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Barton. 2 down and a runner on third for St. Mary's, a Sammy Badgett wanting to come on home. McCord steps back up, toes the rubber. The windup and the pitch. That one's going to be low. 2 balls and a strike. On deck for St. Mary's is Jenna Holder, a senior, and Kirsten Miller, a senior. The next 4 batters are actually, I believe, all seniors. McCord lines it up. The windup and the pitch. Bard puts the bat on that one, and it's right on the line. Fair ball, and a run will score for St. Mary's.
That's a high one that was a little too far out of the left fielder's range to get to.
Yeah.
And like it said, it landed right on the jaw.
Everybody was watching to see if it was going to drift foul or not. That'll bring up Jenna Holder for the Lumberjacks.
The breeze there is, Tim, is blowing toward the left, the foul line.
Holder is batting .750 on the early part of the season. 2 single and a triple, or a double and a triple in her at-bats. First pitch was...
I think it was a ball.
So 2 down, runner on first now for St. Mary's. 1 run across. The next pitch from McCord is up high. That's ball 2, we do believe. 2 balls, no strikes to Holder. On deck is Kirsten Miller. In the hole is Jade Telford. McCord looks in, gets her signals. Now the windup and the pitch. Nice looking pitch. Strike 1 to Holder. Looked like that one might have been down around the knees, but it was in that zone. Holder might have been expecting it to be called a ball.
First inning, just adjust to the umpire's zone. Then you start to pick up on it. That was definitely inside ball.
I could tell by the little jig Jenna did to get out of the way of it. 2 balls and a strike to Holder. We are in the bottom of the first inning. St. Mary's with a 1-run lead, 1-0. Early action here. That pitch is going to be swung on. It's just a little blooper that the second baseman's able to get under fairly easily, and that will sides. St. Mary's comes up with 1 run on a hit. There was no errors. There was 1 left on base after 1 completed. It's St. Mary's 1, Timberlake 0. Coming to bat for the Tigers is Logan Walsh. We'll be back. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need from a wire to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware. They get the products you need and the help you want all Tigers. E.C. Watkins is, of course, pitching. Jenna Holder is behind home plate. Kirsten Miller at first. Second base is Berkeley McGrill. And then we got Jay Telford over at third. Gracie Barden is at shortstop. In left field, it is Stacy Mitchell. Center is Sammy Badgett. And over in right field, Michaela Spray. So a mix of seniors and sophomores here on the field for St. Mary's. And I have to tell you, I watched several of these girls play softball in Little League rounds as well, and they are all very good softball players.
They have a reputation for having some good talent. That's a great thing to have. And being a senior-led team, this team has a lot to look for and do well with this year.
Yeah, kind of looking at their roster and stuff, they have the potential to go far, I think. I don't know if I would like to say that I have that feeling about them like I had the state tournament basketball team, but it's almost close to that kind of a feeling for these guys.
Well, with time we'll get a better idea.
First pitch to Logan Walsh is a strike as she swung at it. On deck will be Ashley Grantham. Next pitch, swing, and that's a ground ball to the third baseman. That's Barden, or Telford, who knocks it down, gets the throw over to first in time for the out. Medium hit ground ball right down the third base line. That'll bring up Ashley Grantham. I've got their stats, too. I keep forgetting. The nice thing about Max Preps nowadays is they're almost a requirement. That one is, she's a left-handed batter.
I guess that was outside.
Ball
the only thing I could see is not being a strike. And from where I am, I couldn't tell you that. There you go. 1-1.
Left-handed batter is Grantham. That's a strike.
Tacy's hitting the spots, I'm telling you.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Grantham. She has a 0 batting average. That pitch is up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. She's had 11 plate appearances with 5 at-bats, Clark. That's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will retire Grantham as she went down swinging. That'll bring up Topanga Rojas, the catcher. Rojas batting .400. She has 6 hits and 5 RBIs. First pitch is going to be fouled down the third base line, strike 1. They reset after the foul ball. 0-1 count to Rojas with 2 down. Nobody on for the Tigers. The windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
They're really not catching up to her pitch right now.
She's got to be one of, she's got a lot of speed.
She's got a lot of velocity on the pitch, definitely. And the neat thing about it is I see a lot of it's either rising on it or it's moving away or whatever she wants to do with the pitch right now, so it looks good.
Well, I know I mentioned it last year. Tacey has spent a lot of time with some pitching and batting coaches up in the Spokane area. That one is going to be hit out to right field. It's going to get past Michaela Spray, and she couldn't quite get in front of it in time, and it's going to end up being a double for Rojas. Wasn't hit super hard, but it was just hit enough and wide enough.
Found the gap.
Yep, exactly. So runner-up with 2 outs in scoring position with Pecor, the pitch up to bat. She bats in the number 8 slot. And looking at her, I don't see any. 429 is her bat average. That ball. I think that was a ball 1 on the first pitch.
It was 2. Oh.
That one looked low, but he called it a strike.
He called a strike on it.
1-1 count to Pecor. Stretch the pitch. That's a.
See, they're just not catching up to her right now.
I guess there isn't really a stretch in softball.
No, the pitch.
The wind-up and the pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will tire the sides. The Tigers do end up with 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and 1 left on base. It is 1-0 going into the bottom of the second. Lumberjacks up, and it'll be Kirsten Miller leading off when we come back.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
And we are back, and I was going to let that for one more commercial, but I realized that next one was a long one, so I had to cut that bad boy off. Kirsten Miller will be leading off for St. Mary's. She batting .625 on the season. She has 7 RBIs, 5 doubles in just the 2 games played so far. 8 plate appearances, 8 at-bats, 3 runs, and 5 hits. So I'd have to say her first 2 games were perfect, nearly, it looks like. On deck, it will be Jade Telford, and in the hole will be Michaela Spray batting in that number 8 spot for the Lumberjacks. I would actually be curious to find out. I don't think I've ever asked Casey or any of her coaches or anybody else how many pitches she actually does have.
I'm thinking it's 3. Super fast, and the changeup at the moment.
It's kind of funny because I never really thought of when, years ago, I never really thought with the way you pitched a softball that there was really that many differences in pitches. Playing some walk-up music
You
for
do actually more location of pitch.
Yeah. Kirsten Miller up to bat. The core pitching. That one misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Miller. The core steps back up, toes the rubber, readies for the next pitch. And the wind on the way. That one's going to be a little low. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Miller. Loving this sunshine. I was hoping it would come out earlier today. As it got later in the day and it was still cloudy, I'm thinking, man, the wind of the pitch, the swing, strike 1 to Miller. 2 balls and a strike. Miller still ahead of the count. Coach Bitterman active down here by third base, encouraging his batter. The wind up the pitch. That's fouled backwards, strike 2. I guess I didn't cover that a little while ago. The coach for St. Mary's is Todd Nerman. He has Pete Asbury and Gary Krumhauer that assist him. The coach for Timberlake is Cassie Lupinaki. Hopefully I pronounced that properly.
She'll never let you know. She'll never let you know.
Next pitch. That was low inside. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Miller with nobody on and only 21 minutes into this game.
That's a lot better than baseball does. I'll tell you that.
The windup and the pitch. That one is fouled back. Thankfully, I parked my vehicle close enough to the building over there that anything that goes that way isn't going to do any damage.
Just never know, Tim. Never know.
So the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes to Miller as the battle starts now between pitcher and batter. And that one is hit to deep right field, and it will drop all the way to the fence for a double by Miller. So St. Mary's has a runner in scoring position, leading 1-0 over the Tigers. Jade Telford steps to the plate for St. Mary's. And Jade Telford batting .333 on the season. She is a senior. She has 4 runs on 2 hits and a couple of RBIs. On deck is Michaela Spray, and that pitch is swung on and hit down the right field line. And runners will be safe at the corners on the single.
Nice little hit down the right field line there.
That'll bring up Michaela Spray with a couple of ducks on the pond.
See, that's such an old cliche. Ducks on the pond, you know. Hey.
My old buddy Bill Anderson used that one. I bring it back up every so often.
Well, why not then, in honor of Bill?
She was squaring around a bunt.
And we now have our runner from Michaela who moved over to second.
Or Jade.
Jade, I'm
Was
sorry.
that a ball or a
ball?
So now,
Michaela's batting right now.
yeah, two runners in scoring position now with Telford over on second, Miller at third. Spray waiting to put one into play, hopefully, as she's got one ball, no strikes, and no outs. Took a swing at that one. Was it a low?
It looked a little low to me, but it's okay. You can't tell until it's right on you sometimes.
Well, yeah, definitely from the batter's perspective. I was just trying to tell from here if that was a low pitch that she took a swing at, or if it was a decent. I couldn't tell. I think it got behind the fence on me. Next pitch on the way. That one is inside. 2 balls and a strike to Spray. Still runners on and still no outs. Runners at second and third. Pecor slowed kind of down a little bit. Surveys the situation, the windup and the pitch. That one was a low pitch and a swing.
It's in the dirt.
At that one, strike 2, 2 balls, 2 strike. The 2-2 count to Pecor, or to Spray. Spray now having to protect as Pecor looks over to get her pitch signals or her signals from her coach on the sideline over by the dugout. That one runs the count full, ball 3, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Spray. Once again on deck is Berkeley McGrill for the Lumberjacks. As Pecor steps back up and toes the rubber in the pitching circle. On the way, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to put Spray back to the dugout. And it'll be the order, Berkeley McGrill step into the plate for St. Mary's. I do not see any batting statistics for Berkeley. That first pitch is up high. She's going to be kind of a tough one to pitch to because she is small in stature. It really shrinks down that zone, doesn't it?
It can. It certainly can do that.
Maybe seeing her first pitches of the season. That one misses.
Well, didn't she bat in the first inning? Was it off?
No. It'll be Badgett back at the top of the lineup. So still 1 out, runners on second and third. Berkeley McGrill with 2 balls, no strikes. Pecor, the windup and the pitch. She takes a healthy swing and strike. A good pitch to swing at.
Oh, that's definitely a good one to be looking for.
2 balls and a strike now to Pecor. Looks in, doing pretty good. Next pitch on the way. That one is in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike to McGrill. Pecor in kind of the same position that...
It's 3-1, Tim. 3-1.
Is that what I said? No?
I thought you said 2-1.
I don't remember now. 3-1 is the pitch count. 3 balls
and a strike. I saw the umpire put up 3 fingers there, so...
That one misses up high, it looks like, for ball 4, and that loads up the bases with just 1 out. Top of the order for St. Mary's, Sammy Badgett steps to the plate as she walked in her first at-bat. So Badgett will be looking to put something in play this time for St. Mary's. On deck, it will be Mitchell. The windup, the pitch, swing and a miss at that one. Nice swing. Swung right past it, though. Strike 1. Sammy Badgett, the center fielder, if I recall correctly. Spins a little bit of time at catcher as well. The windup, the pitch. That one's a call. Strike 2. 0-2 count to Badgett. Now she has to protect the plate. One down, bases loaded. Pecor looks to complete it here with a strikeout. See what happens. Wind up the pitch. That one is up high.
I wouldn't even have swung at that one, Jim.
I might have. That's just me, though.
Yeah, that's just you, right?
1 ball, 2 strikes to Badgett. 1 out, bases loaded for St. Mary's. Bottom of the second inning. St. Mary's leads 1-0. The windup and the pitch on the way. That one ends up down in the dirt. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Pitch count doesn't really matter as much here in softball, but she does have 45 total pitches so far. The windup, the pitch. Oh, gonna get her looking. Strike 3, and that'll be 2 outs for the Lumberjacks, and that will put Miss Stacy Mitchell to the plate. She flew out her last at bat. She did hit a home run in the games against Bonners Ferry, so what a better time than to hit a home run than when you have the bases loaded. But she just flew out the last time, so we'll see what she can do here.
She got under that one pitch for that fly out.
That's a strike. So as the game goes on, does it get easier, kind of, as a batter?
The batter learns to adjust to the zone. If the pitcher changes, you have to still have to pick up the release of the ball a little more. But for a strike zone, you know where it's going to be. It's just being able to pick up the ball quicker.
Swing at the next pitch. Strike 2. Mitchell down in the count. 0-2 to Pecor. She's getting her signal. Steps back up. Toes the rubber. This windup and the pitch on the way, and a swing miss. Strike 3. St. Mary's cannot take advantage of the situation they were in with bases loaded. They ended up with no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. The score is still 1-0 going into the top of the 3rd, and it should be the bottom of the order. Lacey Peterson leading off for the Tigers when we come back.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 50,000 high school student athletes in Idaho have one last request.
Please set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct in high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Idaho high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are back. Lumberjacks lead 1-0 in the top of the 3rd inning. It'll be Peterson leading off for the Tigers. She's batting .500 on the early part of the season for Timberlake. She has 5 runs on 6 hits with 5 RBIs. So a good stat line for her in the 5 games that Timberlake has been. Like I said, Timberlake has 5 games under their belt, so they've got a little game time for them in this early part of the season. St. Mary's with just 2 games. Tacey Watkins, so far, I know it's early, but she has 4 strikeouts already. And that's 27 pitches for her through the first 2 innings. The windup and the pitch, that is fouled off. And this is Peterson's first time seeing a pitch from Watkins as she's batting in the number 9 spot. They'll be back up to Emma Howard after Peterson. The windup and the pitch, that is fouled down the first baseline. So quickly down, 2 in the count is Peterson. She ready degrees for the next pitch. Watkins toes the rubber, looks in to Holder. The windup, the pitch, and the swing and the miss. And that's strike number 3. That'll bring up Emma Howard, leadoff batter for the Tigers. She hit a single her first at bat. It was actually a bunt, not a single. It got her on base though. Hit that right down, just out in front of the plate. Pretty good bunt. She is a lefty as well. So that first pitch was a ball, I do believe, was it not?
It was.
Second pitch was fouled off, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Was that an attempt at a bunt?
She attempted to bunt that one.
I haven't seen any of these batters. I think last year when we played them, they had some of these ones. I'm trying to figure out what they call them, but they kind of run up to the pitch. That one misses for ball 2. You know what I'm saying when I say they kind of run up?
Well, as long as they're still in the box when they make contact, that's fine.
I think somewhere I seen it was called slap.
Yeah, it's slap bunt.
The windup and the pitch. That one misses high. 3 balls and a strike to Emma Howard. Watkins looks in to the lefty. Gets her signals, toes the rubber. The windup, the pitch. And that one missed, I believe, inside, ball 4. 1 out runner on first for the Tigers. That would be the tying run. It'll be Bernie Carhart who grounded out her first at bat over to second base. And then on deck will be the shortstop, Brooke Jessen. Watkins gets signals, the pitch. That's a called strike 1. Really, it seemed like it was the first 4 batters for Timberlake that kind of were able to put the bat on the ball a little bit. That strike. They try the throw down as Emma Howard steals over to second. Can't get it there. So 0-2 the count to Bernie Carhart. On deck is Brooke Jessen. In the hole is Peyton Lindley. As Watkins wanted to complete the strikeout here with the 0-2 count to Carhart. The windup, the pitch. Ooh, that one just misses for ball 1. Level looked good. It must have been outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Carhart. The windup. That one is hit out into right field, and it's going to be an error on Michaela Sprays. That one hit her glove and popped out. The runner is going to score. So the game is tied up. On that error there as Bernie Carhart gets on base. That'll bring up Brooke Jessen. She struck out swinging her first at bat. 1 out and a runner on for the Tigers. The windup and this. That one's a bit high for ball 1. Still waiting to decide on the pitch, I think. The windup, the pitch. Swing and a miss on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jessen. Watkins toes the rubber, the wind, and the pitch. That is a line drive. Tigers on the single by Brooke Jessen. That ball found the gap between left or center field and right and everybody. Peyton Lindley steps up, runner on first for the Tigers. She was out on a drop third. That pitch is going to be a strike. Strike 1 to Lindley. On deck again, Walsh. 2 runs across here in the top of the third for the Tigers. They now lead 2-1. That pitch fouled off. Strike 2. Nobody parked right there, thankfully, as that ended up out in the parking lot. Oh, 2 count to Lindley. Watkins, the wind, the pitch, leaves that one up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Said on deck will be Logan Walsh. In the hole, Ashley Grantham. The pitch. That one misses outside, I'm guessing, for 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
I look for a fastball right inside on her.
Watkins looks in, gets her signals, the stretch, or the windup, the pitch.
Strike 3.
And rings her up looking. Strike 3, and that's going to retire Lindley. That'll bring up Logan Walsh, who grounded out her first at bat. On deck is Ashley Grantham. In the hole is Rojas. First pitch is outside, ball 1.
You know, Tim, a good softball team is always going to talk to each other and let them know where the pitches are. And this is the second time through they're seeing AC. So they've been communicating with each other. That's why they got a couple good hits.
That one is going to be swung on and lifted out down the right field line. It is going to get foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Walsh. That one, if it would have stayed just fair, might have been trouble because Michaela was going to have to charge over to get to that one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Walsh. 2 outs, runner on first for the Tigers. They've plated 2 runs here in the top of the third to take a 1-run lead. Swinging a foul ball on that one. That'll be strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Walsh. Watkins looking in to Holder. Gets her signal, the wind-up, the pitch. That one is going to be up high.
And that pass ball, it's going to get over. She's going to get over to second.
Came off the glove of Holder. So that puts Jessen over to second base. Logan Walsh with 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs for the Timberlake Tigers. Watkins gets her signals. Wind up the pitch. That one misses outside and high. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Watkins looking in, toes the rubber, the windup, and the pitch. I was noticing Watkins doesn't back off the rubber very often. Now she did, but it seems like most of her pitches, she stays right up there after each pitch. As for the pitcher for Timberlake, after every pitch, he kind of takes a step back.
See what's going on here with this one.
Watkins, the windup, the pitch. Fouled off once again. Got a battle going here at the plate, Clark.
Yeah, they're starting to pick up the ball a little better right now. Is Timberlake.
Count remains
Still
full.
Yep.
Of course, that's not going to change unless she gets out or on base. The 3-2 pitch, and again, that is popped up and foul over the backstop. Eight pitches now that Logan Walsh has taken. Good quality of bat for her, depending, I guess.
It is.
The quality goes up if you actually get on, but
the more you're staying in that box and not being struck out, the better to pick up the ball, maybe be able to do something with it.
Watkins, again, gets ready. The pitch on the way. Again, fouled back.
And there's only so much you can do when it comes to a pitcher, but as a hitter, you can see it, pick it up more, and make some adjustments as necessary.
So Watkins looks in, trying to see if she can get the strikeout here. The windup and the pitch. And that is a fly ball on the infield. Let's see, they're calling for it, and that is going to be Berkeley McGrill to make the catch from second base. That will end the top of the third inning. 2 on a hit. There, 1 left on base. base for the Tigers. A 2-1 lead going into the bottom of the third. It'll be Tacey Watkins leading off, and we'll be back.
Why should you get all of your prescriptions from your local Good Neighbor Pharmacy? Because over 100,000 patients per year experience serious complications from drug interactions. At Jack's Pharmacy in St. Mary's, your prescriptions are not only filled, but we double-check for such complications. You can trust our knowledgeable pharmacists, that extra personalized attention. You're not just a number to us. You are our neighbor. Bring all your prescriptions to Jack's, your Good Neighbor Pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Everyone knows that the timber industry is a huge part of a community. Working in the timber industry requires big equipment. Big equipment requires a special mechanic or custom machined items to repair. Jake's Machine and Repair in St. Mary's is your very own full-service, large equipment diesel mechanic that not only has a full-size shop, but also has a service truck that can come straight to you when you break down in the woods. If you're in need of truck or big equipment repair, stop by Jake's Machine and Repair at 106 Homer Drive in St. Mary's or call 208-596-8819. 208-596-8819. Jake's Machine and Repair in St. Mary's.
And we are back. A gorgeous afternoon here in St. Mary's. It's only a single header. Looking at all that snow back there on Baldy, though. Holy moly. I bet you there's quite a bit of snow.
Oh, that's a good snowpack for this year. It's a good thing. And as long as it doesn't melt fast, it'll be a great thing.
Leading off for the Lumberjacks, we've got Tacey Watkins. She bats in the number 3 slot. It'll be Gracie Barden.
It really felt quicker in the sense of dying. Tacey picked that up real well. Really could do with that after she got the ball. She made an effort, though. Got to give her that. Got a courtesy runner going here for Tacey, who's the pitcher.
That is number
22.
Number 22 is Shelby Martin. Shelby Martin, a junior, goes out to courtesy run for Watkins. Ooh, a cloud just covered up the sun.
Don't worry, it won't be long. Not long at all, Tim.
Gracie Barden is at the plate. On deck is Jenna Holder. It is no outs. And it is the bottom of the third. St. Mary's trails by 1, 2-1. Barden singled over to left field her first at bat. She's going to take a first pitch, strike 1. Had a little bit of a technical glitch glitch there for a moment. We got it all fixed and going again. 1 strike to Barton. 2 strikes to Barton, and she took a swing at that next pitch, and she's down 0-2 in the count.
It's definitely a strike.
It was definitely a good one to swing at. We got Shelby Martin over at first base. She's running in place of Watkins. And she's going to get rung up on a 3rd strike, and she gets caught looking. And that'll retire Barton back to the dugout. That'll bring up Jenna Holder, who flew out her first at bat. 1 down, runner on first for the Lumberjack girls. Tim Parrish and Clark Grogan here on the call on it was a sunny afternoon here in St. Mary's. We've got a temporary cloud
Small
cover.
cloud covering it, nothing to worry about.
That pitch is up high to Holder on the first one. That is ball 1. On deck is Miller. In the hole is Telford. The windup and the pitch. Low and inside. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Holder. 1 out, runner on first for St. Mary's. Pecor toes the rubber. The windup and the pitch. Swing, a ground ball. Third baseman. Can they turn the double here? And no. Safe at first is
got the lead,
Holder.
not the other.
In play. So would that be deemed a fielder's choice?
Yes, it is.
As the shortstop gets that one over to second base in time for the out. So that's 2 outs with now a runner still on first, and now we get another courtesy runner.
That's for the catcher.
Yep.
It's just those are some high school speed-up rules, Tim. That works really well.
Lexi Chappell will go in to run for Holder. Lexi, a sophomore. Kirsten Miller hit a double her first at bat. She steps to the plate for St. Mary's.
Nice time to hit another double.
That one was all the way to the fence, out to right field. On deck will be Telford in the hole spray. First pitch is a ball 1. Not sure what happened. Lots of laughing going on over there from the Timberlake side, it looked like. That one is going to be fouled off.
And on the bus again.
St. Mary's has a problem with that Timberlake bus sitting over there. As long as they hit the roof, it's okay. It's when you get a little bit of it's close enough that I don't think they got to worry about it, but if you get that perfect one, it could get right to one of those windows on this side of the bus. 1 ball, 1 strike to Miller, 2 outs. Oh, a nice pitch, strike 2 as she freezes Miller.
Waist high.
Pretty pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Miller behind in the count to Pecor. The freshman pitching well for the Tigers. Only 2 pitchers. They've only recorded stats for 2 pitchers for Timberlake. Swing at that one, and I think it was a dropped 3rd strike.
That's what happened.
That's what I thought. So Miller is safe on that drop 3rd strike. It just came off the glove. It was a little bit of a high pitch.
It was a high pitch.
And Rojas had a little bit of a hard time getting it caught. So we've got runners on first and second now with 2 outs. That brings up Telford. She hit a single to right field, down the right field line in her last at bat. She's going to take that one low for ball 1. On deck is Spray. In the hole should be McGrill. 2 outs, though, for St. Mary's here in the bottom of the 3rd. The go-ahead run sitting at first base for the Lumberjacks. Another low pitch from Pecor, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Telford. Pecor toes the rubber, looks in. The windup and the pitch. That one is up high for ball 3.
She's having trouble with the zone at the moment here.
I don't have to say that she looks in for signals from the catcher because she gets her signals from her coach over there sitting next to the dugout. Looks like the catcher gets the same signals. 3 balls, no strikes to Telford. The windup and the pitch. That was a swing on a nice-looking pitch. Strike 1. Three balls, 1 strike to Telford. 2 outs, runners on first and second for the Lumberjacks. Pecor toes the rubber. The windup, the pitch, the swing, and that's just a soft ground ball over to the second baseman, and a routine play for the 3rd out. So the Lumberjacks come up with no runs on a hit. There was no errors, and there was 2 left on base. Into the top of the 4th inning, St. Mary's still trails 2-1, and it will be Ashley Grantham leading off for the Tigers. We'll be back.
Have you ever noticed that some companies are around for decades, and you really don't notice them until you actually see them? Kenneth Bechtel Trucking is one of these. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking has been a fixture at St. Mary's for decades and still is a community-involved business. Take the time to thank these entrepreneurs that quietly make it on their own and make our community all the better for it. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking. Give them a call today at 245-7209. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking, a community stable and lumberjack supporter. Good luck, Jacks.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawah, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
And we are back. Top of the 4th inning. St. Mary's trails 2-1 to the Timberlake Tigers for some Lumberjack non-league softball action. There's some other games scheduled this week. I did not remember to look at what they are. I think one of them is Camii. I don't remember.
Well, it's good that you're on top of that stuff, Tim.
Oh, looking at the weather, I don't know if we'll get many more games in this week. Even though this weekend is supposed to be pretty nice.
They have spring break week off, don't they?
Probably so. That'll probably be perfect weather all spring break.
Yeah.
Lefty Ashley Grantham, who struck out her first at bat, takes the first pitch from Watkins down low for ball 1. That one's fouled back. Strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Grantham. Bottom, I guess mid-bottom of the order. Clark is in the number 6 spot with Topanga Rojas on deck and Pecor in the hole. That pitch misses outside. Level looked perfect. 2 balls, 1 strike to Grantham. The windup and the pitch. The swing, and that one is a foul for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the 4th inning, nobody out, nobody on for the Tigers. The windup, the pitch. Oh, misses.
That sure looked good.
That
Apparently it was outside.
Runs the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. I do notice that some umpires will kind of signal where it misses. I got her to swing on that next pitch for strike 3. That'll bring up Topanga Rojas, who hit a nice double out to right field earlier. Just got past Spray out there. Couldn't quite get to it in time. And she's going to foul off the first pitch for strike 1.
Good cut. That's a nice cut. Is this time for another Boy Meets World reference?
It is spelled differently from that Topanga.
Is it really? Okay.
And it's kind of sad that I still remember that.
Great show, Tim.
Pitch is up high for ball 1 ball and a strike.
I used to watch that with my kids.
1 ball, 1 strike to Rojas. Make that 2 balls and a strike as that next pitch is down low from Watkins. Watkins with 66 pitches. These two are matching each other fairly well as far as the pitch count goes. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on that next pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Rojas. Got a good cheering section over there in that Timberlake dugout.
That's what I like about softball. They're much more boisterous than baseball.
Oh, that one. Outside.
Just watch Jenna's glove. It'll give you a good indication.
Yeah. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Rojas. The battle continues. That one, a swing and a miss. Strike. Did she get a piece of it and Jenna caught it?
Yep. That's what you call the foul tip.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in my tablet for that, so I've got to record it.
It's just a strike 3. It's a K.
There's a caught foul tip. Okay. Hey, first time I've ever used that one. So 1 down, nobody on. That brings up, 2 down with nobody on. That brings up Pecor, and she swings at the first one, fouls it back for strike 1. I was going to say, there's nobody on, and I think there should be 2 out. Why am I saying 1 out?
Well, it's your choice.
Yeah.
You can be wrong I was going to say, you can be wrong all day if you want to.
Lacey Peterson will be on deck.
Oh, she took something off on that pitch.
That was definitely
That was a changeup, Tim. That's what we call a changeup.
That was definitely a slower pitch than what we've been seeing. 0-2 is the count to Pecor. The wind up, the pitch. Oh, that one's up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. These two teams fairly evenly matched so far. The wind up and the pitch.
Nice
Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that will retire the sides. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3 up and 3 down for the Tigers. Going into the bottom of the 4th, leading off will be Michaela Spray. On deck will be Berkeley McGrill, and we'll be back.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
Are your friends and family tired of sleeping with Fido when they visit? Maybe Fido's tired of sleeping with them. Either way, the Pines Motel is there to save the day. With large, spacious rooms, comfortable beds, and even a mini fridge, Fido may get jealous. Save the floor for Fido and call Kevin of the Pines Motel, 452545. That's the Pines Motel in St. Mary's. I'm sure your friends and family would appreciate it, and so would Fido.
And we are back, and looks like we have a little bit of a change in that batting order. As it is going to be Michaela Spray leading off, I think, right now. No, actually, no. The change is going to be Lexi Fuller in place of Michaela Spray. I don't know if that's a one-time thing. I don't know if that can be a one-time thing, I guess. Just because she's batting doesn't mean she's out there in defense, but I don't know if I looked earlier to see if she was, if it was Lexi or Michaela out there in right field in the last at-bat for Timberlake or not. Lexi Fuller is a lefty. Bottom part of the order for St. Mary's, it's going to be Fuller and McGrill on deck, with McGrill on deck, I should say. In the hole is the top of the order. Should be top of the order, should be Sammy Badgett in the hole. First pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 1.
She didn't look like she's certain if she wanted to swing on that one or not. Just kind of let it go at the end.
Pecor still pitching, of course, for the Tigers. Doing a good job. The windup and the pitch. That one misses up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike to Fuller. As Pecor taking a little bit of time there in the pitching circle. The windup, the pitch on the way. That one's down low. 2 balls and a strike now to Fuller. St. Mary's down by 1 run. Score is 2-1, bottom of the 4th. Pecor toes the rubber. The windup and the pitch. Once again down low. Ball 3, 3 balls and a strike. Next pitch on the way. That one's up high. So the leadoff batter is on deck with a walk, or on base with a walk. And that'll bring up Berkeley McGrill, who walked her first at bat, batting in the number 9 slot. It should be Sammy Badgett on deck.
She is.
And then Tacey Watkins waiting in the hole. Of course, we've got above ground dugouts. I'm assuming when you say the hole, that's kind of what they're referring to. That one's down low for ball 1.
So our runner gets over to second because of that.
So the tying run is in scoring position now. 1 ball, no strikes to McGrill. Pecor looks in, toes the rubber, the windup, and the pitch. McGrill's going to take a swing at that one and foul it backwards. Strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike.
She was on that one, Tim. That was a good pitch to swing at, too.
So Pecor takes a look up to her coach, gets her signals, steps back up to the rubber now. Now looks into her catcher. The windup and the pitch. That one is fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes to McGrill. Protect mode now. Pecor checks over her defense, now toes the rubber once again, the windup and the pitch. That one is up high. Wild pitch is going to advance Fuller over to third. So now she's even closer to tying this game up. Nobody out. 2 balls, 2 strikes to McGrill. Fuller sitting on third base for the Jacks. The windup and the pitch on the way. Oh, gonna catch her looking around the knees on that one. Strike 3. I always like the way the Lumberjack team, the girls especially, they really match everything. They really look sharp, their uniforms.
It's an important thing. You gotta look good.
Looks good.
You gotta look good and play good, man.
Sammy Badgett up. She has a walk and a strikeout looking in her first 2 at-bats. On deck will be Mitchell. First
right
pitch.
There.
Strike 1. They try a throw over to third as they were hoping Lexi might have been a little bit further off the bag than she was, but easily back in time. 0-1 count to Badgett. Pecor looking in, toeing the rubber, the wind, and the pitch. That one misses for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Looked low and outside from my vantage point.
It was definitely low.
Pecor again getting her signals from her coach now. Steps up, the wind, and the pitch. Oh, and that one's going to maybe leave a little bit of a mark there on the back of the calf there as Sammy Badgett takes that one in the leg and will head down to first base.
Got 1 out.
So runners at the corners for
King
St.
is up,
Mary's.
isn't it?
1 out with Stacy Mitchell.
Mitchell up.
Mitchell, a fly out and a strikeout swinging for her. One down, and runners at the corners. First pitch to Mitchell, swing and a miss, strike one. Badgett, though, steals over to second base. 0-1 count to Mitchell. Go-ahead run for the Lumberjacks sitting at second. Tying run sitting at third. We are in the bottom of the fourth. The Tigers lead 4-2-1. That pitch was up high. Got her to chase it. Strike two. 0-2 count to Mitchell. On deck is Watkins for the Lumberjacks. They did have that moment was that the first or the second inning where they had bases loaded and they couldn't bring anybody across?
I think it was the second inning.
0-2 count. That pitch is going to be fouled off as Mitchell protects that plate appearance there. As that one, it was low, but she wasn't 100% sure, so she swung at it and got a piece of it to keep her at bat alive. Still 0-2 count to Mitchell. 2 strikes, no balls. McGore looking in, toe in the rubber. Now she's going to start her wind up. The pitch. Oh, and going to strike Mitchell out. Caught her looking once again. I think, no, she was struck out swinging the first time. So 2 down. Lumberjacks have a chance to tie it up, possibly take the lead, but they've got to get a run across here with 2 outs. As it's Tasty Watkins stepping to the plate, 1 for 2. She hit a single her last at bat.
Yeah, she wants to help herself this time. Help her cause as a pitcher and hitter.
First pitch, and she hits that out into center field. Coming in on it and making the catch is Emma Howard, as she had to take a little bit of a dive at it. And it is going to be the 3rd out for Lumberjacks. They left 2 stranded once again. Started out strong in the top of the inning, but they couldn't get anybody across. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. The score still 2-1 in favor of the Tigers going into the top of the 5th. It'll be Lacey Peterson, the number 9 batter, leading off when we come back.
If you have OCD, obsessive coffee disorder, then stop by Shift and Grind, located in the green building right across the street from Jack's Pharmacy. Shift and Grind is a proud Lumberjack supporter and has something for everyone. From regular coffees to lattes, mochas, and more, Shift and Grind will keep your day going. Try a Red Bull infused or Lotus energy drink if you're not a coffee fan. On Lumberjack home game days, wear your Lumberjack colors and get a discount on your favorite drink. Shift and Grind now has indoor seating. Shift and Grind open 5 to 6 Monday through Friday, 6 to 4 on the weekends. Shift and Grind, 132 North 1st Street, right here in St. Mary's.
And we are back, getting ready to hit the top of the 5th inning. Since there's only 7 innings in these games, would this be the 7th inning stretch?
If you want to, no, they have to be batting first. They have to, home team's batting, so after this part.
The one sports that's the 2 sports that I'm least familiar with is baseball and softball. I've learned a lot over the last several years of doing play-by-play for this. So I think we do have a defensive change out in right field.
You do.
And that is Lexi Fuller.
Yep.
Out there. So it's been a pretty good game so far, really, Clark.
It's moving well, and good pitching on both teams. St. Mary's really got to capitalize on their at-bats, though, because they've had a couple of times now with bases, runners in scoring position with 2 outs or with 1 out or less, and end up getting nothing out of it.
First pitch to Peterson. Lacey Peterson is a called strike. Just to that point, Clark, St. Mary's has left 8 stranded so far. Timberlake has just 3 stranded. 4 hits for the Lumberjacks, 3 hits for Timberlake. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 2 to Peterson as she hops up and down in frustration after swinging at that one. 0-2 count to Peterson. Both pitchers working really well. That one is fouled off over to the parking lot. Oh, and that
better not be my car.
That one found a car out there.
Better not be mine. This will be my last broadcast, Tim.
Well, I seen you driving around. I didn't know where you parked. That one was left low as it was bowling balled in there.
I really don't think mine was there in that particular
vicinity.
Spot. It's close, though. It's close.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Peterson. The windup. Oh, and then another one that's bowled in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A couple of pitches slipped out of her hand, seemingly. Or she just released them a little early. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Peterson. No outs, nobody on. Top of the 5th inning for the Timberlake Tigers. They lead 2-1. The windup and the pitch. Swing, it's a ground ball hit right down to the first baseline. And Miller's able to get it knocked down and on the bag in time as she bobbled it a couple times but was able to complete the play.
Still, she didn't panic. That's a good sign right there. Good defense. Got it done.
I haven't totally checked into it. Like I said, that other games this week, I know the boys had, I think, Kendrick on their schedule this week, and then Camia. And I think, actually, both of those teams might actually be league opponents. We might have 5 teams in this league this year, at least for baseball. I think it's the same for softball. I think they play the same ones, but I'm not 100% sure. That pitch is outside on the lefty for ball 1.
So what you're telling me is those 1A schools come up to 2A for baseball?
Yeah, because I don't think there's a whole lot of 1A schools
no, they're not.
For baseball. That one's up high for ball 2. And Camia would be doing it all on their own. I think they don't combine with anybody, but I think Julietta sometimes, or Kendrick sometimes combines with some players from Julietta. Oh, that pitch just misses. That one's ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes to Howard with 1 out. The windup, the pitch, the swing, and that is a miss. Strike 1. 3 balls and a strike to Howard. The windup, the pitch. That one's fouled off for strike 2. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Howard. See if Watkins can work her way back into a strikeout here. Nobody on, 1 out. Watkins, the windup, the pitch. Oh, they get the strikeout on that one. Got her looking. So 2 down, nobody on. That brings up Bernie Carhart. She is 0 for 2. A ground out reached on an error. First pitch to her is a called strike 1. Back to a right-handed batter for the Tigers. The windup, the pitch. That is a little bloop. Back to the little bloop grounder, back to the pitcher. And Watkins is able to scoop it and toss it over to first base in time for the 3rd out. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. The score is still 2-1 in favor of Timberlake. Leading off will be Gracie Barton for the Lumberjacks when we come back.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Idaho high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Nice weather is coming, and maybe the winter was hard on your deck or your dock. 10th Street Lumber is your decking headquarters for all of your decking needs. From Trex decking to wood decking and beyond, 10th Street Lumber in St. Mary's can have your deck or dock looking brand new. Stop by today and see Pat or one of his hard-working employees to see what they have. 10th Street Lumber wishes the Lumberjacks the best of luck at State. Whoops.
And we are back, and, well, obviously this game is not a state game, but we still thank 10th Street Lumber for being a sponsor on our Lumberjack Sports broadcasts. See what we've got going on here in the bottom of the fifth inning. It should be Gracie Barden leading off as we have a little bit of time here in between innings. Kind of, I think, we can maybe call this the fifth inning stretch here, as it'll be Barden, Holder, and Miller. Pretty good spot in the batting order for St. Mary's. Barden did strike out looking in her last at-bat, though. Still pitching is Acacia Pecor. She has a total of 87 pitches, and in fact, Watkins has 87 pitches as well. 40 balls, 47 strikes thrown by Pecor. First pitch is up high, ball one. Pecor gets her signal, looks at her wristband to see what the pitch is. The windup and the pitch on the way. That one misses up high again, ball two. Again, I mentioned this in the pregame a little while ago. Pecor, just a freshman for the Timberlake Tigers. She's pitching very well for St. Mary's, or for the Tigers. We have a sophomore and a freshman doing battle in the pitching circles for each team, as Watkins a sophomore. The windup, the pitch. That one is going to be a hit by pitch, actually. And that'll put Barden on at first. Jenna Holder steps to the plate for St. Mary's. She would like to get on. She did reach with a fielder's choice in her last at-bat, but she has a fly out as well. They just missed the double play in that one, in fact. The wind-up, the pitch. And that one's going to be in the dirt for ball one, and Barden on the wild pitch heads over to second base. And you may have not heard from Clark for a moment. He had a phone call come in, so I turned his mic off.
I'm still around, though. I'm still around.
Runner on second for Lumberjacks. 1 ball, no strikes to Holder. On deck is Miller. No outs. Bottom of the fifth inning. St. Mary's trails 2-1. Once again, they've got that tying run in position. That next pitch is a beauty. Strike one call.
No outs, right, Tim?
No outs. Been in this position a couple of times, at least with no outs or one.
Yeah.
Kind of curious if I get a moment to see what the batting average is for both teams. That pitch is inside. Ball two. 2 balls and a strike to Holder.
You know, Jenna has an advantage here because she's been the catcher to know what the umpire's zone's going to be like, too.
So Timberlake's only batting 158. St. Mary's is batting 235. It's been really, I guess you'd consider that kind of a pitcher's game going on.
I'd like to see what their percentage is with runners in scoring position, though.
That one, Jenna thought about swinging at. She's able to check up. I believe it was high for ball 3. Mm-hmm. 3 balls and a strike to Holder. The core readies for the next pitch. Takes a deep breath, the windup, and the pitch on the way. Oh, strike. That looked like a nice
one. To me.
Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strike. So this count really doesn't, I don't know, does it favor the pitcher more, or is it not really? It's kind of a tie.
It's hard to say.
And that one's going to be inside and low for ball 4. So that'll send Holder over to first base. No outs, and that'll bring up Kirsten Miller with Jade Telford on deck and Lexi Fuller in the hole. Miller, her first at-bat, she hit a double. Her second at-bat, she reached on a dropped third strike. The Lumberjacks putting some runners in position once again. That one is low and so far inside that it was outside. And that advances both runners on the wild pitch. So Holder to second, Barden over to third. I noticed that since they don't have any outs, they didn't put a courtesy runner in for Holder.
No. I think it's 2 outs that you can do that. Maybe 1. I don't know.
So 1 ball, no strikes. And that one makes strike 1 to Miller. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runners on first or on second and third. The go-ahead run sitting over there on second base for St. Mary's. They led in the bottom of the first inning. Nobody scored in the second, and Timberlake played a 2 in the third. And that is hit out into right field. It's going to be caught for the out. Oh, no.
A triple play.
That was not a good situation, I guess you could say. That was hit out to right field. It was caught. The runner on second got caught in between and got...
well, she should have been on the bag until known caught or not. That's just...
And then they got the throw down to
the runner from third went home, and then they got it to the catcher, and she tagged him out.
Yeah, there you go. You explain what happened there, Clark, while I try to figure out how to tag this into the tablet.
You got to be careful on those kind of things. That was a nice peg. It's just the right fielder was right where she needed to be, got the ball. Holder was off the bag, got second, and then the runner from third went home, and they got her there, too. So, triple play. You don't see those too often, Tim.
I don't think I recorded that as a triple play, but...
Well, it comes down as that.
Yeah, exactly, it does. But is there even an option in this one for triple play?
I have no idea. It may automatically pick it up when you put 3 in on the same pitch. Who knows?
Well, it gives me probably a different order for entering everything. Let's see here. There's the out. That doesn't show nothing there. In any case...
Force at second, tag out at third at home.
In any case, the Lumberjacks, once again, had something going for them, and they were not able to make it happen as they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody was left on base either. So at least they didn't leave anybody on base, but that's not the way you want to do it. 8.
No, it's not.
The score is still 2-1 in favor of Timberlake, and we will be right back.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
And we are back. Brooke Jessen leading off for the Timberlake Tigers. First pitch is up high for ball 1. I do have an explanation of the league games, as I got a message just now from St. Mary's Athletic Director Todd Gilkey, who is listening to the game at the moment. That is going to be a ground ball. It's going to be hit over to the second, or our shortstop. The throw to first is going to be an error.
Threw it off.
And is that error? Who's that
That's
on?
On the shortstop.
The shortstop. Yeah, we lost our connection for a minute there. We are back, I do believe. Runners now at second and third for the Tigers. Grantham with a first pitch. Was that a ball?
Yep, because he didn't say she swung, but...
That one's a strike called.
No doubt on that one. Right there, above the knees.
So Kamei is actually a league game, and it is because Clearwater Valley and Kamei co-opt.
I see.
That one's foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Some of those little schools out there I don't know about, like Clearwater Valley. It's good to have, even though it's only for baseball or softball, some additional teams there in the league. That one is going to be a ball low, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Grantham at the bat. She's 0 for 2. 2 strikeouts for her, both of them swinging. So she's gone down fighting her both times, and that one is going to be low. That runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
That's a walk. That's ball 4.
I missed a ball somewhere. So that loads up the bases with 1 out, and Coach Bitterman going to go out, call time, and go out and have a quick talk with his infielders, it looks like. Obviously, your first read for a play, if it's an easy ground ball, is going to be to home plate.
It's not a force, though. What you might try to do, depending on where the ball is hit, is to look the runner back and throw to first.
You know, bases are loaded, right?
Are they?
I think
they
so.
are, so it is a force. Yep.
So that'll be Rojas, too. And Rojas, she has a double in her first at bat and a strikeout swinging her second at bat. 1 out, bases loaded. Timberlake looking to try to expand their lead a little bit here in the top of the 6th inning. 2-1 is the score. Both teams have 4 hits. St. Mary's, though, has 2 errors, with Timberlake no errors in the game. That pitch is going to be left low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Rojas, the left-handed batter. Next pitch. Oh. Holder tried to frame that one, but he still...
I think it was outside, though.
Called it ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Rojas. The wind up the pitch. That one was low. Tried to frame that one as well, but that one was definitely low. I could see it from our angle here. 3
Good
balls,
eye, Tim. Good eye.
3 balls, no strikes to Rojas. Watkins, the wind, the pitch. That one is going to be fouled back for strike 1. Let's see if Watkins can battle her way back in from the pitching circle into this pitch count. To Rojas. Bases loaded and 1 out. That pitch is going to miss up high. That'll walk a run across for the Tigers. Gives them a 2-run lead, 3-1. Brings up Pecor in the number 8 spot for Timberlake. She has 2 strikeouts swinging. Pitches now for Watkins. That one's fouled back for strike 1. 103 now. Pecor has 99 pitches.
Baseball would be pulling right now.
The wind up, the pitch. That one is fouled off. I don't think there isn't even really a pitch count at all.
I have not heard of a pitch count in softball. You're really not straining your arm with these underhand pitch.
So Pecor down 0-2, and that one's going to be a called strike inside. That's going to get the second out. Got her out looking. They'll bring up Peterson. She is a strikeout swinging and a ground out. So if St. Mary's can get this third out here with only allowing the one run in across, that's definitely a win for them defensively. And that's going to be a ground ball right to the pitcher, to Watkins, and she gets the throw over to first in time. So that was definitely the way you want that inning to go when you end up with bases loaded. Timberlake had one run on a hit. There was one error, and there was 3 left on base. So St. Mary's trails 3-1 going into the bottom of the 6th. They've got time, but they've got to get something going here soon. We'll be back with Jade Telford leading off.
Cold weather is on the way. Is your chimney cleaned and ready to be used safely? St. Mary's Fire Protection District has a chimney brush loaner program. Anyone can sign out the supplies they need to clean their chimney free of charge. Do you know the signs of a chimney fire? Chimney fires typically present with loud popping and cracking sounds, an intense hot smell, dense smoke ranging from tan to black in color, and in later phases, showers of sparks and embers or large flames. Chimney fires are very dangerous and can have catastrophic results. If you suspect you may have a chimney fire, call 911 immediately. If it is safe to do so, fully dampen the fire and limit all sources of air. Quick recognition and action can make a major difference in the outcome of an emergency. As winter drags on, you still need to stay warm and keep your animals fed. XXX Feeds in St. Mary's has all of those needs and more covered. You can stop by XXX Feeds and pick up wood pellets for your pellet stove and pet food for your indoor or outdoor critters. Also, as spring grows closer, that means 4-H season. If you have a 4-H member in your household that raises turkeys or chickens, talk to XXX Feeds about getting your 4-H project. XXX Feeds in St. Mary's.
And we are back, and I think I may be missing one sponsor in our CD there. I want to get Gateway Financial in there.
Show your spirit.
Gateway to manufacture?
Gateway Financial is one of our other sponsors. I think I don't have that on our disc. I didn't hear him play. So Miss Jenny Oakes over there, Gateway Financial, she's a great financial planner. When you win that Powerball lottery, you might want to go to her to help out with that. Leading off for the Lumberjacks, it'll be Jade Telford. In the hole, Lexi Fuller. Telford has a single and a ground out. St. Mary's.
The plate umpire got a little cold. He put on his jacket now.
It is a little chillier now that the sun's starting to drift down. Still, it's been a pretty nice day today.
There's nothing to complain about with this.
Telford steps up to the plate. Acacia Pecor is still pitching for the Tigers, doing a good job of it. 48 balls and 51 strikes thrown by her. First pitch to Telford is a called strike one. The only discrepancy in the stats here, at least as just the line or the box score, is those 2 errors for St. Mary's. That pitch is up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Takes a look at her wristband, does Pecor. Now she's ready to go. The wind and the pitch. Ground ball. It's going to get into the gap and out into center field for a base hit for Telford. Center fielder Emma Howard was able to come over and cut it off to keep it from being an extra bases hit. But Lumberjacks, once again, have their leadoff on. That'll bring up Lexi Fuller, the lefty, batting her second trip to the plate. She walked her first appearance. Swings at that one for strike number 1. On deck is Berkeley McGrill. Lexi waiting for the next pitch from Pecor. The windup. The pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss. Strike 2. As Fuller took a nice cut at that one. 0-2 the count to Fuller. Got a plane doing some touch and goes, it looks like. The wind. looking, and that'll retire Fuller to the dugout. That'll put Berkeley McGrill to the plate. She has a walk and a strikeout looking in her two at-bats. Runner still at first for St. Mary's. First pitch to McGrill is going to be a little blooper that's going to be caught. The throw over to first is in time for the quick double play, and that will retire the sides. So there was no runs on one hit, no errors, and one left on base. The score, it's still 3-1 in favor of Timberlake. We'll be back.
And unleash your school colors with a debit MasterCard from P1FCU. With our exclusive high school and college designs, you can represent your school with pride. To join the P1FCU Mascot Madness, visit P1FCU.org to see all our designs. P will short by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's.
And we are back, coming into the top of the 7th inning. St. Mary's trails 3-1 to the Timberlake Tigers. 4 hits for Timberlake, 5 hits for Lumberjacks. No errors by the Tigers, 2 errors by St. Mary's. 6 left on base for Timberlake and 8 left on base for the Jacks so far. Top of the order for the Timberlake Tigers, Emma Howard leading off, and she has a single, a walk, and a strikeout looking. Tacey Watkins continues in the pitching circle, and she's going to deliver her first pitch at the top of the 7th, and that's going to be fouled off by Howard for strike number 1. Watkins looking in, steps up, toes the rubber. The windup and the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2 count to Emma Howard. On deck is Bernie Carhart. In the hole is Brooke Jessen. Emma Howard, one of the lefties. The windup, the pitch. That one's going to be up high. What do they have? I think 2 or 3 left-handed batters.
I think I've counted 3.
Bonners Ferry boys, did you notice that they had almost half their lineup were lefties?
Yeah.
That pitch is down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's a real advantage when you're facing a right-handed pitcher.
In both sports, softball and baseball.
I don't know much.
Ball 3 runs the count full to Howard. No outs, nobody on. Howard with a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Watkins looks in, the windup and the pitch. And she's going to leave that one high for ball 4. So she had her in a good position early with the 0-2 count. And Howard able to battle her way back in and earn the walk. That'll bring up Carhart, who is 0 for 3. A ground out reached on an error and then a ground out. Windup and a pitch. That's a called strike 1. The one thing St. Mary's does not want to do here is allow any more runs to come across in the top of the 7th. Trailing 3-1. On deck will be Jessen. In the hole is Lindley for the Tigers. The windup, the pitch, and that's going to be hit out into left field. Mitchell is there to scoop it up, and everybody is safe, and we get a
late tag.
Yeah.
Late tag.
She just got there under it.
Comes from not doing the fundamentals. That was just a simple throw into the third base.
Is there an error on that, or is it?
I would consider it a throwing error, yes. Don't mean to be harsh, but She should be at third base right now.
That is a ball one to Brooke Jessen. Runners on second and third with no outs for the Tigers. Ball one to Brooke Jessen. She reached on an error her last at bat. First two pitches are ball one and ball two. Strikeout, swinging a single and an error. Reached on an error for Jessen. On deck is Lindley. Watkins, the pitch on the way. Man, just misses. Put some speed on that one, and it's going to be ball three. Watkins has had 71 strikes and 46 balls. That pitch is a strike. Strike one called. 3 balls and a strike to Jessen.
She doesn't want to see these bases loaded.
The windup. The pitch. That one misses low for ball 4, and that'll load up the bases for the Tigers with nobody out. That'll bring up Peyton Lindley, the batting in the number 4 slot. She hit a single her last at bat. That single was up into center field. Looks like it was a ground ball. That one is going to be a foul ball.
That's where my car is. That hit pavement, though.
I was going to say, I didn't hear any metal get hit, so you're safe.
That's right.
And if it got it on the bounce, that's okay. 0-1 count to Lindley. That one misses for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lindley. Nobody out. Base is loaded for the Tigers. Top of the 7th inning, the Tigers lead 3-1. That is hit into center field. It will bring in a run, but it is an out as well. So runners now still at first and second for the Tigers. 1 run does go across, gives the Tigers a 3-run advantage, 4-1. Logan Walsh is going to hit that one out to right field. Lexi Fuller. That one.
Hesitate on that throw.
That one took a funny little hop when it hit out there, and in front of her, it kind of died in the grass, so she had to re-get to it, or readjust where she was going to get to it at, and then, like you said, it allowed the run to come across. And then the advance from second to third, I believe we got runners at the corners now with 1 out. 2 runs across for Timberlake. They now lead 5-1 here in the top of the 7th. 1 down, runners at the corners. Ashley Grantham walked her last at bat. 6 hits for the Tigers. That one is going to be ball 1 low, and Logan Walsh will still over to second base. So now runners at second and third for the Tigers. Watkins looking in. Now to wind up the pitch. That's a called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Grantham. Another one of the left-handed batters for the Timberlake Tigers. She's going to take a swing at that next one. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. St. Mary's now trails by 4 runs. The wind, the pitch. That one's going to miss down low. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Watkins, the windup and the pitch. Swing. And that was a foul. Foul tip.
Drops.
Yeah, just fell out of Jenna's glove there. So the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Grantham. Watkins looks in. The wind up, the pitch on the way. That's going to be a called strike 3. That one gets her looking, and that'll send her back to the dugout. That'll bring up Rojas. She's been dangerous. 1 double.
I just heard numbers. Look good.
Wouldn't want to see her get a hold of one. She just looks like like you said, a very good softball player. Runner still at second and third. First pitch is a called strike to Rojas. Everything kind of slows down a little bit when you have a quality batter up there.
That's a changeup.
Ball and a strike. The windup and the pitch. That one's going to be fouled off. I talked to Casey's dad, though, and Casey actually played with some of the girls on this team, at least Bonners Ferry team out here, but in the Little League or in the stuff, she played from Bonners Ferry and stuff, so they kind of know her. That pitch was ball 2 up high. If there's any of those players still on the team from last year, which there probably is. I'm sure there is, because that would have obviously been her freshman year, and it probably would have been the freshman that had played with her.
Usually it's about the same age
group,
most of the time.
That one's going to be low, ball 3, so the runs account full now to Rojas. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners on second and third for the Timberlake Tigers. Watkins would like to retire Rojas here. The windup and the pitch. Ground ball. It's going to get just past the third baseman's glove. And we are going to get 2 runs across. Is that a single?
It's a double.
Double. A double on the ground ball that just got past the third baseman. That now gives the Tigers a 6-run advantage here with 4 plated here in the top of the 7th inning. 2 down, no 1 runner now at second base, and it's Pecor batting in the number 8 spot. She is 0 for 3, a strikeout swinging, and a strikeout looking, and that first pitch is going to be a strike call. Didn't want to have happen as happened here. They let 4 runs coming across. That one's going to be fouled back. St. Mary's now at this point has a 6-run hole to dig themselves out of here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 7 hits now for Timberlake. That one was a ground ball. It was a low one that she got a piece of and was able to get it out into left field for the base hit.
A little bit in this inning, too.
Nobody scored, but runners now at the corners. 138 pitches for Watkins. I know, like you said, there's not really a pitch count.
There's still a fatigue factor that comes into play with your body.
Exactly. Peterson is 2 ground outs, her last 2 at-bats, and a strikeout swinging. She is 0 for 3. 2 down, runners at the corners for the Tigers. That's going to be a strike 1 call. Watkins looking in. Now the wind up, the pitch on the way, and that is hit out into left field. Lexi Fuller is not going to get to it in time. And I think 1 run scores. Just dropped just in front of Fuller. She could not quite get to that in time. Another run comes across for Timberlake. 8-1 is the score with 2 outs. Runners now at second, third. Emma Howard back to the top of the order for Timberlake. They batted around here in this inning. That one misses up high for ball 1. The windup and the pitch. That one's left up high as well. 2 balls, no strikes to Howard. Howard walked her first at bat, or her last at bat. I believe that was at the top of this. That was in this top of this inning. Next pitch on the way. Inside. That's a ball. And they're maybe going to get a pickoff attempt here. They do get the out. No.
Get out of the line.
Oh, my. they said Jenna did not get the tag, and they're not saying that she was out of the baseline either. They're counting that. Oh, that looks like it is going to go talk to the umpire real quick.
I mean, she took at least 3 or 4 steps out of the path to elude that.
Now we're going to have a meeting with the umpires. The 2 umpires are going to meet now. See what kind of conclusion they
really
come
is not
to.
Even a debate. He should have seen where the location of all that happened.
Still the discussion between the 2 umpires. And it looks like he's going to call it safe.
I'd sure like an explanation.
I'm guessing that was basically a passed ball, right, that they advanced on. What happened there, folks, was Peterson, she got caught between second and third. So they tried the run down. They got the throw out to second, which forced Peterson to come to home. And the holder apparently just misses the tag, and the runner stepped way out of the baseline.
She's 3 to 5 steps outside of the path of where she could be. That just doesn't work.
So they call her safe, and then the next pitch after all of that is going to be a ball 4, and that puts Howard on at first with still 2 outs. And 9-1, 6 runs across in the top of the 7th for the Tigers. Bernie Carhart steps to the plate. She hit a single her last at bat, and she's going to hit that one out into left field, and I think that's going to, or right field, that is correct. Thank you, Clark, and that's going to drop foul. First strike, number 1. So St. Mary's trails now by 8 runs. It is softball. I've seen crazy innings before, so it's not like it's unheard of for a team to overcome that, but it's definitely more difficult. That next pitch to Carhart is a called strike 1.
Howard's still second on that one.
Runners at second and third with 2 outs. Next pitch. She thought about taking a swing at it, but it was high. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Carhart. The windup. The line drive, it's going to...
Off the glove of Berkeley.
That was a line drive right to Berkeley. I don't think that would be an error. That was a sharp hit. And it played 2 more runs for the Tigers, because it was a line drive right to McGrill. 2 more runs come across on the single by Bernie Carhart. That'll bring up Brooke Jessen with Peyton Lindley on deck. St. Mary's now down by 10, 11-1. Ball 1 low to Jessen on that pitch. 150th pitch for Watkins coming up here. On the way. That one's going to be up high. Ball 2 to Jessen. It's really been a 2-out rally. They scored probably half of these runs off of with 2 outs. And, of course, one of those runs semi-questionable.
Well, it's led to these other ones that would not be involved.
That next pitch is down low, ball 3. If you're Coach Bitterman, you consider changing your pitcher.
It's not going to make any difference, Tim.
No. Now, and this is for ball 4. Runners at first and second. Peyton Lindley comes up to bat. She's in the number 4 slot for the Tigers. She flew out her last at bat. That was out to Sammy Badgett in center field. The windup, the pitch. Called strike 1. Oh, 1 count to Lindley. On deck will be Logan Walsh, the left fielder. Next pitch is high, ball one, 1 ball, 1 strike. One count to Lindley. Watkins looks in. The windup and the pitch on the way. That is going to be a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Lindley. This game was moving right along earlier on. It kind of slowed down as it's progressed.
My feet are cold now, Jim.
That is a line drive right over the head of the third baseman.
That was a shortstop.
Shortstop, yeah. And another run comes in for the Tigers. So now runners on first and second with 2 outs. 9 runs across here in the top of the 7th inning for Timberlake as the floodgates have came open for him. Logan Walsh hit a single her last at bat. She is stepping to the plate for the Tigers. Swing and a miss at the first pitch from Watkins. Strike 1. Watkins looks in. The windup and the pitch. Now one's going to be...
hit her leg.
That's going to be a hit by pitch. As that was a pitch that hit the ground way early and rolled into her ankle. Sends her over to first, and base is loaded once again.
She even make an effort to get out of the way of that? Didn't look like it to me.
And a walk in the game. The windup and the pitch. That's left low for ball 1. The next pitch is going to be a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Grantham. Runners on all 3 bases. We got bases loaded with 2 outs. 12-1 is the score in favor of Timberlake. That's a called strike, 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Grantham. The windup and the pitch. A swing and a miss. Strike 3, and finally the Lumberjacks are able to get the sides retired. Damage done, though, in the top of the 7th. 9 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, 3 left on base. A lot of room to wake up for the Lumberjacks going into the bottom of the 7th. They trail 12-1. We'll be back.
Brent's Electric is a family-owned and operated business right here in St. Mary's. With 36 years of electrical experience, Brent's Electric has been serving all of North Idaho since 1996. From new construction to renovation, Brent's Electric can help. Give them a call today at 208-245-5725. That's 208-245-5725. Brent's Electric in St. Mary's.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? Do you need some trees or brush removed in preparation for a home or shop? You need to call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. That's at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing.
And we are back, and that inning there really helped out the Timberlake batting average. They are up to 324 on their batting average. Acacia Pecor, who continues in the pitching circle here in the bottom of the 7th, has a total of 8 strikeouts, and she has walked 4. She has hit 2. Having a pretty good game for the freshman. And St. Mary's will be leading off with the top of their order. They've got Sammy Badgett will be stepping to the plate, and they've got an 11-run deficit to try to clear here in the bottom half of the final inning of this game. Pretty tall order there for any team there, Clark.
I would find it to be a difficult task. But if I'm coaching, I'm still saying, let's try to win an inning, get a lot of runs here. Finish strong.
Crazier things have happened in high school sports. Badgett was hit by pitch her last at bat. She has a walk and a strikeout looking in her other two. And that first pitch is going to be down low for ball number 1. On deck, it should be Mitchell, Watkins. Mitchell and Watkins. But it looks like we may have, no, that looks like the proper order still.
Yep.
The core, the windup, the pitch. That one is up high. Going back to that last baseball game, I actually thought it was pretty funny when we had that one pitch that was behind the Bonners Ferry player and it hit the bat.
Those things happen when you don't drop it.
Yep.
That's what you teach them.
Just thought that I heard something that sounded like a bat clink over there, but it wasn't. It was off the glove of the catcher. Oh, 2 balls, no strikes. Oh, I think Sammy thought that was low and inside, and they called it strike 1.
I don't know, Tim.
The way she spun away from that, I was thinking ball 3, but it was called strike 1.
I don't know, Tim.
Next pitch, 2 balls, 1 strike. And that one is going to skip
Ball
into
4
Sammy.
hit her leg.
So that'll send Badgett over to first base. The rally starts now, Clark.
Well, we shall see, Tim. We shall see.
Stacy Mitchell, she is 0 for 3. A fly out, a strikeout, and a strikeout looking. A strikeout swinging and a strikeout looking. The windup and the pitch, and that's going to be a ball. It's going to be hit right over to the shortstop, and they get the double play. No? She's safe?
Safe at first.
Oh. I got a little bit ahead of myself on that one.
Stacy hustled down that line.
So, 1 out now. Mitchell over on first base. Tacey Watkins steps to the plate for the Lumberjacks. Up high, ball 1. Mitchell gets over to second on the stolen base. Watkins flew out her last at bat. She has a ground out, a single, and a fly out to her credit today. St. Mary's has 5 hits, and up until that last inning, the top of the 7th, it was very close in the hit count between the two teams.
Yeah, it was. It was, 5-4 in St. Mary's favor.
Something like that, yeah. Up high for ball 2 on the next pitch. Now it's 11 hits for Timberlake, 5 for the Lumberjacks. Of course, I guess that last hit didn't count as a hit for Stacy. It was a fielder's choice. That one's inside. Ball 3.
This umpire's going to call strike 3 almost wherever that ball locates unless it's in the dirt. It's too high.
3 balls, no strikes to Watkins. 1 out, runner on second. The wind up, the pitch. That's a called strike.
When I tell you.
Strike 1.
I thought it was high.
Clark channeling his inner umpire.
Inner umpire. Definitely coming out for a moment.
3 balls and a strike now to Watkins. The cord, the windup, and the pitch. Was that a foul?
It was a foul.
3 balls, 2 strikes, as Watkins got a little bit of a piece of that. Runs the count full to Watkins. McCord looks in, the wind up, the pitch. And it's a
foul ball.
Foul ball is the dugout for St. Mary's was yelling to run, but that hit the instep after coming off the bat from Watkins. So it's a foul ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count. The Watkins with 1 out, runner on second for the Lumberjacks. Bottom of the 7th, the wind up, the pitch. So runners now on first and second. Gracie Barden was hit by pitch her last at bat. She struck out looking the one before that. Her single that she has came in the first inning, or in her first at bat, which probably was the first inning. Runners at first and second for St. Mary's with one down. On deck, I believe, is Holder. And Barton's going to foul that one back for strike number one. McCord steps back up, toes the rubber, ready to deliver her next pitch to Barton. The windup, it's on the way. And that one was up high. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gracie Barton. McCord, the windup and the pitch. In the dirt, ball 2. And the runners are going to advance on that pitch. So we've got Watkins at second, Mitchell at third with one down. Barton, 2 balls and a strike. On deck is Holder. In the hole is Kirsten Miller. McCord looks in, the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be fouled backwards for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes to Barton. McCord looks at her wrist sheath there. Armband. That one catches the outside corner, strike 3. Gets Barton looking.
It was.
Barton was asking, she said she thought it looked high. Clark says, I thought it was high too. And it looked like Coach Asbury says, I don't know. That brings up Jenna Holder with 2 down. Runners at second and third. And she hits a line drive. Oh, man. Even the strong hits. That was a nice hit by Jenna Holder. But Emma Howard out there in center field is able to get her glove up there and get that ball caught for the final out. That was... couldn't buy the hit on that one, and it looked like it was going to be trouble all the way to the fence. And what a great play by Howard there for the Timberlake Tigers as they come in, and it was a heck of a battle all the way through the 6th inning. But Timberlake plates 9 runs in the 7th to give them the 12-1 advantage. We'll take a break, and I'll wrap things up when we come back.
The St. Mary's Lumberjack Booster Club is looking for volunteers and active members to participate in the many activities the Booster Club does in support of our Lumberjacks. Lumberjack Booster Club provides much appreciated support to the Lumberjack sports programs and is always looking for new active members and new ideas. The Booster Club is currently in need of new officers as well as volunteers to help with the Hall of Fame banquet and auction, spirit building, senior nights, and more. Anyone interested can contact Lynn Masterson at 208-568-1802 or just come to a meeting at the fire station.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Idaho. This is sportsmanship. School sport is not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
When was the last time you had great Mexican food? I mean, really great. Has it been a while? Well, grab the kids and head to Casa de Oro for dinner tonight. Casa de Oro has fantastic burritos, tacos, and chimneys, not to mention fajita and shrimp dishes. Little Johnny doesn't like Mexican food? Well, don't worry. Casa de Oro also has an American menu as well. Dinner and lunch a la fresca. Great service and margaritas with a kick. Casa de Oro, it's what's happening for dinner tonight. Casa de Oro on Golf Course Drive in St. Mary's.
And we are back, and what was overall a pretty fun, entertaining game all the way up until that top of that seventh inning, where things got away from St. Mary's a bit with a 9-run inning for Timberlake, but otherwise, it was a fun pitching, kind of a pitching battle.
It was a pitcher's duel up till that last 2 innings.
12 runs total for Timberlake, 1 run for St. Mary's, 11 hits for the Tigers, 5 hits for St. Mary's. St. Mary's had 3 errors, which early on I was playing a factor in the score, but it really didn't make a difference in the end.
No, those hits at the end really did them in.
10 left on base for the Jacks, 9 left on base for Timberlake, and that was a big thing too. That score could have been even still closer than that with the times that St. Mary's left.
They left 9 or 10 runners on base, didn't they, Tim?
Yeah, 10, and Timberlake left 9.
But they sure took advantage of the times that they were on.
Oh, yeah. So that is the little box score there. And just take a look at the averages real quick and some pitching things here. Let me see. Timberlake ends up batting .324 as a team. Topanga Rojas, 667, 500 for Emma Howard. And those are the top 2 batters for Timberlake. Bernie Carhart was 400. Peyton Lindley was 400. And that was the top ones for them. Let's see. Where's my RBIs and stuff? Carhart had 2 RBIs. Lindley had 2 RBIs. Rojas had 3. And let's see. Lumberjacks batting. They finished up at 208 on the game. Sammy Badgett scored the lone run for St. Mary's. And Jay Telford had a couple of singles. There was no extra base hits for the Lumberjacks in that game. Lumberjacks did strike out 9 times. Pitching, J.C. Watkins finishes up with a earned a run average of 10 in that game. She did strike out 13 batters. She did walk 7 and hit 1, but it was just a tough game as far as that goes on that side of it. Fielding, St. Mary's did finish up with a 900 in their fielding percentage despite those 3 errors. They had 21 putouts with 6 assists in the game. They did not turn any double plays or triple plays. And Timberlake, they had a triple play and a double play in the game. They had 21 putouts themselves. They didn't have any errors. And pitching-wise, for Timberlake, Pecor gets the win for the Tigers with an earned run average of just 1, and she struck out 9, walked 5, and hit 3. So that is that stat line there for the team. St. Mary's comes up short, 12-1 to the Timberlake Tigers. That sends the Lumberjacks with a 2-1 record. Timberlake improves to 4-2. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know when the next games are. I didn't take that time to look at the schedules that were coming up. I know there's some other games scheduled this week, but I'm not sure if we're going to get to those. I think they're on the road, if I recall. And the weather's not supposed to be too friendly until we get to the weekend. So we'll let you know more about the schedules later on. That's going to do it for me, Tim Parrish, Clark Grogan, heading off into the sunset. And we'll see you back here for our next broadcast of Lumberjack Sports on KOFE. Have a great evening.